Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Today I'm going to be telling you the last dietary advice you will ever need to know. And I know that sounds like a bold statement, but there's a few key intuitive points that you need to know in regards to diet. Because there is so much bull crap out there. There's so many people saying this is good, that's bad, don't do this, do this, blanket statements. And let me tell you, diet is not something that we should be looking at Western science for answers. Okay, this whole concept of breaking a food down into its components, its little nutritional bits, and assuming that we could then say that those bits, when we add them together, make up what the food is. Okay, the whole is not the sum of the parts. So we need to stop looking at your proteins and fats and carbs and vitamin A and D and C and all this reductionist bullshit. It's bullshit. Okay? And yes, it does have a small amount of value. Okay? It's not totally made up, but we really need an intuitive approach to diet because the Western scientific reductionist approach is an empty, hollow approach. It's not helping people harmonize with their diet. People are really confused. They're going from diet to diet to diet. Paleo, vegan, vegetarian, Mediterranean, this celebrity diet, that celebrity diet. And people get really up in their heads about this stuff. And I know because I've been there. Okay? We all do it. It's easy to obsess. The human mind wants to obsess because that gives it something to cling on to. But we really need to throw away, or at least push aside, this Western concept of nutrition that everybody seems to go to. Okay? We need to take a step back. All right? What is food? All right? Food is energy and matter. Specifically, food comes from living matter. And living matter gets its energy and its vitality and its life force from the sun. So all the energy in our food comes from the sun. Now, one of the obvious and perennial concepts in nutrition is that you want to eat food as unprocessed as possible, as close to its living state as possible. And this is absolutely true. However, it's not the whole story. And honestly, we cannot eat living food. The food has to die. The creature, the plant, whatever, it has to die in order for it to become assimilated into our system. Okay, and this is a really key point. What is happening when we eat food? We have an energy field. We have a body. We have a mind. We have a spirit. And our food, when we take it in, it is becoming us. Okay? And the food, the creature, the plant, the mushroom, it has its own energy field. It has its own etheric body. It has its own spiritual body. And so when we ingest a substance, we need that substance to go from what it was to us. We need to change the patterning of the food from an intuitive perspective from that of a flower, a plant, a leaf, a fruit. That energy patterning has to be absorbed into our energy patterning. So if we can make that transition as easy and seamless and smooth as possible, that is actually one of the keys to nutrition. Now, if you have the mindset when you're eating a food, oh, this food is bad for me, or this food's gonna make me fat, or this isn't organic, so it's poison. Okay, you are standing in the way of that food, that substance being integrated into your person. You have put up a wall. And that food, even if it's the most pristine, organic, vitamin, mineral-rich food on earth, if you don't think that that food is good for you, it will poison you. All right? One man's poison is another man's panacea. So we need to stop thinking in terms of this is good for you, that's bad for you, eat this, don't eat that. We all have a different energy patterning. We all have a different body, we have a different mind, and a different soul. So we are going to interact differently with different foods at different times, at different emotional states. So one of the keys is when we eat food, we want to be thankful for it. We want to believe that it's going to heal us. And we want to eat it when we're calm, relaxed, and in a good mental state. Have you ever noticed that mom's cooking always tastes better? Okay, it's got that love in it. You can't even explain it. How is it that, why does it taste so good? You put the ingredients together and it tastes like crap. Okay? Or maybe you've noticed that when you really take the time to prepare a meal for yourself, you really put your energy and creativity into it, it tastes so good, it digests perfectly, and you feel great afterwards. Okay, this is the energy patterning. You have put a little piece of your spirit, okay, I don't want to talk in whimsical terms, but you have put a little bit of your patterning into the food that you're eating. That's why the food you grow always tastes better. The food you prepare with love and attention always tastes better. And it doesn't just taste better, it's better for you. Okay, these are really, really key points. So, kale isn't kale, isn't kale, isn't kale. We can't say kale is bad. We can't say, this is bad, honey is bad, it's just sugar. There's a spiritual, there's an etheric, there's an astral component to the foods we eat. And the astral, spiritual, and etheric component of the foods we eat interact with our etheric and spiritual bodies. So we want to create a harmony between the two. And that starts with our perception of our food. So another important concept we really need to grasp here is that the food we eat does not act upon our body. Our body acts upon the food we eat. A tablet of aspirin sitting on a table does nothing, right? It's just a chemical on the table. Aspirin has an effect because our body chemistry acts upon the aspirin. The same is true with food. Food is just there. It doesn't do anything. Before it gets in your body, it's inert essentially, right? But when you eat it, the effect that happens is because your living body chemistry, your mind and soul are acting upon the food. So think of it that way. It's you that's causing the reaction to happen. You are acting upon the food. The food is not acting upon you. I'm reminded of a time that was really an eye-opening for me when I took a specific supplement. Maybe you've heard of it. It's called deer antler. It's a Chinese herb. And I had the most profound reaction from it. You know, once you start to get more in tune with what you're eating, more in tune with how you're feeling, how your body's reacting, you start to notice things. And what I noticed was when I took the deer antler, I had a 1 ounce bottle. And I took it over a period of about 2 weeks. And what I noticed is I started feeling really angry. I felt angry, not necessarily in a bad way, although anger is a negative emotion. It was an energetic angry, an energizing anger, okay? And I went, hey, wait a minute, this is so weird, because this is a deer antler supplement. You know, if you broke it down into scientific components, there would be nothing there that could account for it making you angry. But what I realized was that the deer antler had the subtle energy of the male deer during mating season. And so what I realized was I was taking in that etheric emotion of the deer antler that was stored in the deer antler. So it was a pretty eye-opening experience, and it showed me that, you know, we really have to consider the etheric components of the food we eat. And we're not going to know the etheric components of the food we eat when it comes from the grocery store. We don't know how it was raised. You know, we don't know the emotions of the people that raised it. We don't know even where it came from. So it's really important to know the life of your food. What was your food while it was living? Was it exposed to the stars and the fresh air and the birds and the bugs chirping? Or was it grown in an indoor environment where it was fed chemicals and the emotions of the people that worked there were negative? They didn't want to work there. They didn't want to be there. And those emotions are imprinted in the food you're eating. So I think these intuitive concepts are really key to having a harmonious relationship with your diet. It takes all the confusion and all of the left-brained scientific reductionist bullcrap out of the equation, because you can use that. It's not completely invaluable, but when you have an intuitive concept of what's happening, as I've explained here, you know, you really don't need to know all that diet bullcrap. It's not useful, and it just takes away from the essence of what's happening. So I truly hope you have enjoyed this video, and I hope you've taken it to heart, and I hope that this clears up some of your dietary confusion so that you can be more at peace with your diet, and you can start to experience all the benefits, rejuvenating and uplifting effects of your dietary choices. So I thank you for watching, and have a great day. And if you want to comment, please do so. Don't forget to share with your friends and family. And if you like this and you want more content like this, please subscribe below. I thank you for watching.